petting and snuggling are essential for strengthening the bond between you and your feline friend, making them feel loved and secure with you. However, the positive effects only occur when you pet and cuddle your cat correctly. Incorrect petting and cuddling can even harm your relationship, so wait to cuddle with your cat until you've watched this. Number 1. The right spots. You shouldn't just pet your cat anywhere. Instead, you need to find the right spots. Most cats love to be petted on the forehead, crown, neck, and throat. Chin, throat, and ears are also popular spots for affection. On the other hand, most cats don't like to be touched on the tail and belly. Your feline friend finds that very unpleasant and may react aggressively. Each cat also has its own preferred spots to be petted and areas where they don't want to be touched. You can discover where your cat enjoys being petted and where they don't by observing their sounds and body language while petting them. Number 2, the way to touch. Now, the question is, how should you pet the spots where your cat enjoys being petted? Remember, always stroke gently over the fur without applying too much pressure on their body. Otherwise, your cat will feel uncomfortable, dominated, or in pain. The more sensitive the area, the gentler and more careful you need to be. Especially be gentle when petting their throat, chin, and neck, but the crown, forehead, and ears are also very sensitive. Many cats prefer having their ears scratched rather than being petted. How is it with your cat? Number 3, never against the grain. It is essential to always stroke with the direction of their fur. If you pet your cat against the grain, it literally goes against the grain, and they don't perceive it as a sign of love, but as one of the most unpleasant things they can imagine. Instead of contented purring, you may hear indignant growling, and you might even end up with a few claws in your arm. So, cuddling is not enjoyable for anyone. Always make sure to stroke in the direction of the fur. Number 4, avoid petting from above. Almost as bad as petting your feline friend from above. Yes, you are taller than them, even when you sit. However, if you sit next to them or kneel in front of them, they don't perceive you as taller because you extend your hands horizontally to them, creating a kind of eye level. That's what matters for a loving approach from the cat's perspective. On the other hand, if you lean over them while standing or pet them from above while sitting or kneeling, they perceive it as an attack. The same goes for raising your arms and petting your cat from above. These gestures are dominant from your cat's perspective and won't be well received. Number 5, no hugs and kisses. For us humans, hugs and kisses are the ultimate display of love, so we are inclined to show our cats love in the same way. However, that's a big mistake because cats don't interpret hugs and kisses as signs of affection. Instead, they feel overwhelmed, dominated, and attacked. To cuddle correctly with your cat, you need to cuddle like a cat. Cats don't wrap their arms around each other. Instead, they snuggle up to each other's sides and might gently place a paw on the other cat's body. They don't give mouth kisses, but they have something similar. They touch their noses together. Instead of hugging your cat, simply snuggle up to them side by side gently, or, if they like it, let them lie on your lap while you pet them lightly or softly rest your hand in a spot they enjoy. They will start the nose touching themselves when they want to, so don't do it yourself. But when they do, stay still and appreciate this lovely display of affection. Number 6, the right dosage. Petting and snuggling are essential, but only as much as your feline friend wants. You can't and shouldn't force or compel a cat to be petted. If you do, they will show you their claws or teeth, and they will lose trust in you because you're not respecting their needs. If your kitty wants some peace and quiet, let them have it. The same applies during grooming and other activities. Ideally, you should have a sense of when and how long your cat wants to be petted, and you shouldn't only notice it when they express their unwillingness. Cats are never completely predictable, but you can assess your feline friend as accurately as possible if you understand their body language and sounds and observe them. Number 7, proper approach. Approaching your cat also requires some consideration. One important aspect is to respond to your cat's attempts at closeness, like when they nudge you or tap their paws on you. You should also initiate closeness so your cat knows that cuddling is important to you too. However, you must pay close attention to your cat's body language and be gentle in your approach. Of course, leave them be when they are sleeping, eating, grooming, or observing something. But if your cat is just lying there with their eyes open or playing with you, they might welcome some affection, but you should test it on a case-by-case basis. As you know your cat best, you can tell how and when they want to be approached and whether they're ready for a cuddle session or would rather be left alone. Number 8. Not before bedtime. A bad time for cuddling and petting is right before bedtime. This may sound odd because cuddling seems so cozy. However, for your cat, cuddling doesn't make them sleepy. On the contrary, it makes them more active. Too much touching triggers their playfulness and might rob both of you of a well-deserved good night's sleep. If you cuddle too intensely or directly before bedtime, your cat won't sleep but will be active and playful during the night. A few gentle strokes or cozy sitting side by side with light physical contact is fine, but extensive cuddling and petting should happen at a different time of the day. Number 9. Mutual boundaries. So far, we've focused on what your cat wants and how to do everything right for them, which is essential. However, you must also take care of yourself. Petting and snuggling should also be enjoyable for you because it's something that connects you both. While your cat takes precedence and you may need to set aside your own needs sometimes, it doesn't mean they can do whatever they want with you. For example, they must learn that you can't pet them around the clock and that you don't always have time immediately when they demand attention. On the other hand, you should always consider whether what you're doing or want to do is genuinely more important than your cat. There should always be time for a little affection now and then. However, you don't have to tolerate scratching or biting from your cat. If your cat scratches, bites, or hisses while you're petting them, it may indicate that you touch them where they don't like it, or that they've had enough of cuddling. Biting can also be a so-called love bite. However, scratching is sometimes used by some cats to get attention, as a somewhat strange invitation for cuddling from a human perspective. In any case, you don't have to put up with scratching and biting. If your cat does this, you should immediately end the cuddle session and ignore them for a moment. Your reaction must follow immediately after the scratching or biting so that your cat understands the connection, and you must consistently respond this way. Over time, they will learn that you don't accept this behavior. Would you like to know how to distinguish a love bite from an aggressive bite? Click on the image on the left to find out. Alternatively, if you're interested in learning more about why you shouldn't cuddle with your cat before bedtime, click on the image on the right.